Philadelphia and Allen Iverson, #1 in the league in field goals attempted, 3rd in the league in field goals not only attempted.
Games against Philadelphia, Raptors out-rebounded by 23.
It's a 4-2 ball game, Philadelphia. Iverson driving on the baseline in a dunk by C-Webb.
You really got to find a way to keep Iverson in front of you.
Weber, nice pass. Iguodala with a reverse dunk. Iverson with a pull-up from 8.
He's so good with that. Rafer Alston needs to check out some of these type of shots from Allen Iverson.
Here come the Sixers. They've outscored the Raptors 16-2 in the paint. Iverson threads the needle. And here in the first quarter, here's Donyell left unattended. You can book it.
Taking a chance.
Marshall again, open. His second triple.
One of the lowest teams in the NBA in terms of block shots.
That's right. They're 28th in the league in that department. Iverson curling in and scores. Allen Iverson in the ball game with 6 a game. Marshall again. Bam! Get out the umbrella, Leo. It's Rady Trays, courtesy of that man. Here's Marshall again to step back. Are you kidding me?
Taking one shot after another.
Here's Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson. Iverson going underneath at McKee. The trailer. Iverson flips it up and in. He broke in the paint.
This is, I better get back. Well, it's too late because Allen Iverson is going right down the lane, getting the pass back from McKee. Fundamental.
The arc. Marshall. Yes, that's number 5. O'Brien, he teamed up in Boston. Donyell Marshall. That's number 6.
Yep. Donyell Marshall was standing there in the corner reading a newspaper. Nobody saw him.
That's how you run an NBA fast break. See, I think the Raptors should just forget about shooting too. Their season high, 14, count it, and a foul. Iverson,
see, that's
and 1.
That's a tough call right there. Iverson just goes in there. There's really no room.
And Iverson at the free throw line, gaining some momentum. They trail Boston in the Atlantic. Iverson.
This is when you get in real trouble right there on the rebound.
I'm surprised that was a loose ball foul. Iverson wants it. He can feel it. He wants to take Alston to the rim, and Iverson is fouled. I saw Iverson before the game, and I went up to him, and I said, Allen, and I mean this sincerely, Leo, there are very few players where you can say that, you know, you can honestly say, I'm going to pay to see one athlete play. He is a guy that I would pay to see over and over, and he is worth the price of admission.
Well, you know that every time you pay to see him, you're going to get his best effort, and that's all you can ask of any athlete. Allen Iverson, he was out here early working on his game.
Yep.
Now, you know what, Chuck? Even Allen Iverson, when he comes to Toronto, he understands one thing that's very, very important. You know what that is? Pay homage to the man, the myth, the voice, the Chuckster.
Yeah, well, you know what? I just appreciate his heart. And I told him that, Leo, you know what?
Oh, Chuck, come on. You're being very modest right here. It appears, I know what's happening right here. You're just kind of explaining a few things, but Allen Iverson is basically looking at you and saying, hey, Chuck, you know, I appreciate everything you do. Every time I turn on the game and I can hear you, I know you're giving the best effort. He goes, I pay. He goes, I get satellite. I pay to listen to you. I know that was the conversation, Chuck. No, modesty aside.
But Leo, realistically, I mean, don't you think if more players in this league had his heart?
Oh, no doubt about it. And, you know, you could look at a lot of different things and pick out different things of his game. Some people call him selfish. Some people say he's difficult to play with. But you know what? This guy comes to play.
Yep.
He comes to play. And we've seen it firsthand in Toronto with Vince Carter even flat out coming down saying, I didn't try. That's the worst thing a professional athlete could ever say.
Yep. Whether it's game 3, 30, or 82, he plays one way.
And he doesn't play a simple game. This guy gets beat up, gets knocked down, gets to the free throw line, but he keeps coming back.
I think he's the best small man in the history of the sport. And Iverson, you can justify, because next year they start a 4-year, $80 million plus contract, and he's worth it. But you get locked in with 2 mega deals like Iverson and Weber, not a lot of wiggle room, and they're going to have to re-sign Dallenberg.
Besides, Chuck, but he's just rushing everything once he gets it. We talk about that night in and night out. He's just got to slow down and go up strong. Play big. Take people with you. Allen Iverson
Iverson weaving inside.
He's so good at changing speed, changing direction.
Alston, Marshall, Peterson, back to Donyell, going for a 7-3. He has it! Oh my goodness!
When guys are willing to do that, even when they have the hot hand, you can.
Bryant has coached three-point shooters when he was in college.
Again, I think this playoff talk really has to be put in perspective, but not this. Donyell Marshall, unbelievable. 8 3-pointers, and he's enjoying it as much as anybody else.
Yeah, and the Raptors have tied a franchise high with 17. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, the idea is that I think the playoff talk is good for one thing. You have a lot of players that you're saying to, hey,
the pitch, Marshall for the franchise record. There it is! It'll be on Sports Center. Ring it up! Peterson, Marshall. That is a franchise record. Donyell Marshall. Marshall again. Why not? Get out the Columbia team's mother. This ball game is over. You are a part of history, folks. Donyell with 35. He's got 11 threes.
But when your teammate's knocking down 11 threes, pretty impressive.
No quitting that, man. Allen Iverson with 32. Marshall again. That's it. I'm out of here. Donyell Marshall, a career high 38. Donyell Marshall has been spectacular. His 12th triple of a ball game. Boy, tell you what, where's Bill Murray when you need him? Groundhog Day all over again and again and again. Donyell Marshall and the Raptors in the books with a 128-110 win over the flabbergasted Philadelphia 76ers.